hand.
Right. As far as I'm concerned, I'm done with this game. It's just like, it's got so many problems. I guess I should probably do a review of it, really. Yeah, as I've just been discussing while I've been playing this, basically, they haven't updated like the general gameplay. You can't open doors. You can't hide in cupboards. You can hide bodies that you've shot so that they don't get discovered in crates and things like that. But that's been like a staple of a lot of these kind of games like Hitman and things like that, and like Metal Gear for 2 decades. So that's still in there, fine. It's weird that you can't interact with those with other areas as other crates, but it's that specific crate. There's not, even in like Call of Duty, you can put people in closets and things like that. Anyway, which you never used to be able to do, and they've introduced that. Whatever. It doesn't matter if the people you shot get discovered. They get discovered, and then you just go from being silently sneaking around to just massacring everybody. It makes no difference. And then the immediate people around the area that have heard the noise, like explosion or your gun that isn't silenced, that you have to build up to get a silencer, they all come to where the noise was. You can move and go somewhere else, so they're looking around that area, or you can just stay there and systematically pop off everybody that's there. Now, you could crank the hardness of this up to make that much more challenging, but I still don't think it's a challenge. I still think that, like, what they want you to do is they want you to feel good every time you get one of those special sniper shots, right? They give those away too freely. You can do that for everybody. If there was a specific mode that meant you had to either like hold on for a few extra seconds, really use your lung capacity to kind of take the perfect shot. You only do that when it's a headshot, maybe not like a body shot or something like that, or it's like a head or a heart shot, maybe. Then that's when you get the perfect kill. But you can just shoot someone from the other side of the map. Just on the, you could just do zero. Within 2 seconds, you can get the perfect shot. So it takes away how special that is in this game. So that's a fail. The graphics are passable. I mean, for a modern game today, modern gaming, I feel that it's pretty weak. But by now, they should be like top tier. This is like the 6th game, probably more, but in the series, there's like Sniper Elite 1 to 5, and then there's this one. In this series, by now, they should have got all this stuff sorted out. Go into buildings, dress up as a soldier, not just when like the mission asks for it. I don't know if that's a possibility, but this feels like the kind of game that if you needed to dress up as somebody else, they would let you do it once that was specific to that mission. I feel like I've done it before in this game, not necessarily whenever you want. Just give me the opportunity to dress up as a soldier. And also, if I'm carrying a sniper rifle and it's not standard issue for that soldier, then the other soldiers could become aware of it. Or if I go too close to them, they could see me. There's those kind of mechanics that you can introduce that would be really cool. How much cooler would it be? I know you're a sniper, right? But how much cooler it would be if you could just walk up behind Hitler, dressed as like one of his elite bodyguards, and just shoot him in the back of the head. I mean, like, that's what people want to do. So let them do it. I mean, personally, I feel like I've ticked another thing off my bucket list today. I've killed Hitler several times in my gaming career, but today, having shot him in his one testicle, which I will say, whether it was the camera angle or whether it's deliberate, the guys that are actually setting this game up, if they made his character model with one testicle, then this is a 10 out of 10. Congratulations, everyone should play it. I fear that it's probably been a running gag for a while, if at all. If it was just a fluke of the camera angle, then even whatever, that's just what it is. But yeah, we took him out in the only way he deserves, through the knackers. So that wasn't really that great, because you kind of like stealth your way through for a couple of minutes and he's just there. I mean, there's a whole load of other things you could do. There's like optional objectives like we've got here. You can do other things. You could probably like sabotage the train, or you could like cut the communications so that like they can't alert anybody else to coming to your position. Right? But why would you do any of that? I mean, you might do it to kind of get extra XP, and then you can spend more of that XP on your character. But the truth is like your sniper rifle is brilliant already. The well rod is crap, but the pistol I had in the other gameplay, where it's just a silenced pistol, that is excellent. The machine gun you've got, as long as you've got enough ammo, that is excellent. So what is the point of upgrading these weapons? There's no point, because you've been given everything you need from the offset. So they're giving you two paths. They're saying, look, you can just play this game without having to upgrade anything, or you can play this game where you need to upgrade stuff to get better. Choose one, right? It's like they don't want to knock out the casual gamers, but actually it's not a great ask. If I couldn't do this mission unless I got a silencer and a specific weapon which was on the base that I had to get first, that's more interesting than just creeping around for 5 minutes and shooting him with a gun that I started with before, mission one. I mean, it's a fail. It's a fail. It's not interesting, and and he would never. I guess he would never just be standing there like that. He'd probably be surrounded by people. He'd be indoors all the time. He'd be like, at this point in the war, where they're about to lose the war, like they say in the introduction, like he would be in a bunker somewhere. So put a bunker there. Have him do a Hitman thing where you have to assassinate him rather than being a sniper. Maybe you have to put a bomb in a briefcase, and that's the thing that gets him. And maybe there are other options like that. Maybe that should be the only option, but you have to work to get there. You have to shoot a guy with your sniper rifle that's guarding a safe house that has the explosives that you have to get on site. Maybe if you didn't also feel like every time you did a mission you were resetting, this would be a better game. And what I mean by that is what you finish the previous mission with in terms of ammo and things you've picked up. Let's start the next mission with that. Because then if you have a particular tricky mission and then you're sent off to another mission, maybe it's all meant to be back to back. Maybe you're meant to be scavenging to find stuff. I'm always starting with the same sets of weapons. And to be honest with you, if I was this sniper, I'd be like, I'm not taking the sniper gun. I'm not taking the pistol, any of that stuff. Give me an M60 and 80,000 rounds worth of ammo, and I will just walk around and just destroy everything, and then that will be my mission complete. Because that's essentially what you could do. You could strong arm your way through these games. It just doesn't make any sense. So maybe adding that element of you have to scavenge for things. There's a bit there which is there are things around you can use. You don't have to use them. They're not essential. What you have at the start of your mission will allow you to achieve what you need to do. And if you were super stealthy, you could fire one bullet in this game, killing Hitler, and then stealth your way out of it, and you're done. Which I think is nice to have that option, but it's just too quick. It's such a tag on. Honestly, it really is just a tagged on thing. And speaking of tag ons, I think there's a reason that this isn't Sniper Elite 6. And that is because it really is it is just an extension of the last one, of Sniper Elite 5, which, by the way, just crashed on me when I was playing it. And my character is still stuck by a barrier, unable to get out of level 3 because it didn't boot up at the end where he could extract. I killed everything, did everything I needed to do, and then I couldn't get out. So that was a thing. And this just feels like DLC for that, which obviously became more. They realized that they could model some of these locations and essentially use the same kind of sandbags and things to hide behind. And there are low walls you can't jump. There are areas where you should be able to get onto the roof of something and become a sniper. Find a point that isn't a predetermined area where you have to go. Allow me to climb up rocks and find my own spot. Put loads of different areas in that I could maybe attack him, but get Hitler or shoot whoever I need to shoot from multiple vantage points. Maybe some of them have to work a bit harder to get at, but you can do it, and the AI is crap. If you do eventually trigger the alarm and it's oh no, the Germans are coming, it's they basically just they squat down and line up in front of you, and you can just shoot them with whatever gun you've got. I mean, you saw that bit just a minute ago where I basically was just reloading the well rod, and it kept missing him, or it kept hitting him, and it was crap, and it didn't really work very well. And eventually I was just like, I just changed to my sniper rifle and took him out. But that went on for far too long. He had a machine gun, and he's there kind of like holding his arm with a better pistol than me at point blank range, and he could have just headshotted me and job done. But the AI is just like all over the place. So and also like I'm tired of guards ducking down behind walls when they know that I'm up here, and they're ducking down behind walls, and you can still just see their full body, and they think, "Oh, I'm safe." It's like, if you're doing that, you're not safe. I'm going to shoot you, and it's going to be awful, and there's going to be like a slow motion bit of footage of your brain coming out of your skull, and then I'm going to like move on and do the same to your mate who's also not hiding well. So the AI is like all over the place, and maybe it's got something to do with the assets. Maybe those things, they should be behind various sandbags and things. The most fun things are when you run around a corner. That's why I don't bother tagging anything. You run around a corner and you bump into someone, and there's a moment where everyone's startled, and you have a split second to take them out. That's fun. But 9 times out of 10, if that happens, the AI gets confused and just like looks the other way, or like turns, or takes too long to lift their rifle, or it's just like, it's a weird thing. It needs sorting out. Anyway, I think if I'm going to play another one of these games, it has to be, they've got to sort all this crap out, because it's just like, it just feels decades old at this point. And also, there is one element in this that I do quite like, which is where you can be invaded and you can invade other players. I did do a load of that before, and I've watched some gameplay on it, and it looks quite fun. But ultimately, it's not that. I think once you've done it a few times and ruined someone's single-player game, which is essentially what you're doing, if that's the best element that's been added in like the last 10 years, then I think these games are in trouble. I mean, the problem is they're not bottom of the barrel by any means, but they're not top tier either. And I think that's the problem, is they sit in that weedy little spot in the middle, which is like, some people think they're great, some people think they're shite, and it just kind of like balances out, and they make just enough money to make the next one. I like the style of it all, the cutscenes and everything. They're just, I don't know. It needs an injection of energy. It needs someone to come along and actually just take this tired format and just revamp the whole thing. Don't make it first person. There's plenty of sniper games out there at first person. I like it being third person. I think there's a kind of arcade feel of like a Metal Gear Solid game moments, where you're kind of stealthily doing stuff. But there's no penalty for not being stealth. You just can brute force your way through it, which you can do that for every mission. So the sense of achievement, unlike sort of Dark Souls or something like that, which I'm always going to compare it to. I never was a huge fan of Dark Souls. Now I'm an ultimate fan of Dark Souls. I love those games. And the feeling you get having tried something 50 times and then you beat it on the 51st time, that feeling, there is no other feeling like it, and that can translate into other games, not just Dark Souls. But with this, it's like, maybe 2 attempts to get it right? I mean, I had a little pre-save just before I shot Hitler, and on the 3rd attempt I hit him in the bollocks, which is what I was aiming to do. And the challenge after that was like, I could extract. It makes no difference to me. I actually decided to just to show some of the weaker points of the AI. But at that point, you could just turn it off. It doesn't matter. And I think I probably will just turn this off, and it doesn't matter. So I would not recommend playing this game. I mean, unfortunately, it's like 60 quid, which is an absolute rip-off, because it does feel like DLC. And then the extra DLC bit for, Lights, Camera, Actong is another £5 or £6 or whatever. It's an absolute rip-off, and unfortunately I did have to buy it. But I bought it so you don't have to. So please don't buy this game. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, it's a 2 out of 10. There was a brief moment where I thought this might be fun, and then it just systematically crushed my hopes and dreams for what it could have been, and any kind of development past the original, or hasn't really changed since the second one, in my opinion. All they're doing is just refreshing the settings, and the locations, the settings, they're running out of them. You know, we did the Wolf's Nest before, or whatever it's called, the Eagle's Nest, the Wolf's Lair. We've done all of those ones. So now we're a TV studio, and like they're running out. You know, there was a Dam Busters thing, and it's just to have a good third-person story where you're like an SAS sniper accompanying a team. They're doing stuff, and your job is to protect them. That could be one awesome mission. You know, rather than just the same mission every time, which is shoot this guy. There's some other optional things you can do if you want, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, so it's 2 out of 10. I would not recommend it. In fact, I'm done with this. I'm out. Until next time, be good, stay safe, and be kind to one another. Peace out. We gone. Oh.